Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away. And it from the gun, it's Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs,
that defensive pressure, they showed it there. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, and it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down Seahawks. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. That complete to Lamar Miller. Call it a gain of 5. And just like that, it's third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On third down, Miller. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. After 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Bringing him to the ground defensively, Tedrick Thompson. From just shy of midfield, Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 37.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got him in. It's Brashad Perriman. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Bravo.
54. Mike 54. Oh, baby, come on, let's go. Mike 54.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And for back. Move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Rodgers now on 1st down. Completes it to Corey Grant. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Rodgers to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flush to his right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone. but it's incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And with that last field goal, that puts him now at 300 made on his career, and that is something to celebrate.
And that puts him in the top 30 all time. So he's really made a mark, and he's got plenty of life left in that leg, that's for sure.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness again.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 30.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme?
Ten now from the 30.
Mike 42, Mike 42.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Escape. Rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down. Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10. A shotgun handoff now to Miller. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's make the stop before it turns into something big.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And the 13-year man puts it through, and that will stretch the lead to 3 scores now at 19-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Watch the curve,
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch 57, smooth. 57's Mike. Mike, you finish it.
Rodgers again now. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 39. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
They come out here in the eye. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Joker, 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 Joker. Check, check. Fresno, Fresno, Fresno. Check, check. Wait. Check 43.
Check it backer, check it backer.
They'll run for it with Lynch. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here is Lynch on 3rd and goal. Lynch pushing, but he is not going to get there. They stop him short. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Prater's kick is good. And that one ups the lead to 22-0. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained every as they headed into the half.
These two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why. And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl. And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation. So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them. And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now Rodgers. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4. Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a handoff here to his running back. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. And to give this time to the tailback. The star at nearby UW, Kevin King, on the stop.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. On first down, Rodgers. Left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Rodgers now to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Call that a 48-yard punt and made even better by a loss on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL...
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. 61 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
First down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Don't get nervous.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6. First down, Brooklyn.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wildcard matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. Touchdown! Jay Sternberger, 63 yards. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Making the catch is Sternberger. And he'll be out of bounds. And he will step out of bounds. And the two-point try will be unsuccessful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
And he comes back with one complete. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Eluding the pressure right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Now they try the right side here. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here to have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
49, check 49, check 49. Check 52.
Shift, watch the shift. Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll drop to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Returnable for Grant. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
23 yards, the final tally.
Hey, Haywood.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off down at the 10, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You go tight. You go tight.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Preston Smith there on the stop. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Here comes Grant on the return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw to the right. He's got the tight end here, Sternberger. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as he'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Now Rodgers throwing on 1st down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off inside the 10, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game. Check. Got that done. Win a wild card.
I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL.